Hey everybody, I hope you are doing well. Welcome back to my channel. For my regular subscribers and members, I really appreciate your presence. If you are new to this channel, you're just landing on here, welcome aboard. I hope you like what you see. Hit that like and subscribe button. I am an intuitive tarot reader, tarot and oracles, and I also, for many of you don't know, I'm also a former newspaper journalist. So my approach, I'm definitely a spiritualist. I am a priestess. I go to spirit and I work with spirit to channel messages for you all. But I also try to do my homework and make sure that I'm grounded in what's happening, the facts, as it were, as much as, all of us can determine. And doing our research these days is more important than ever. I will say I've got some landscapers outside, so if you hear a little noise interruption in the background, I apologize for that. I'll try and keep my volume high enough that it doesn't disturb the reading. So, want to go in today on Donald Trump, Jack Smith, and Kamala Harris. We're going to end it with the light. And as a matter of fact, when I said Donald Trump, I had some sage out here in front of me. I think we're going to go ahead and light it, and we'll kick it off that way. Trump gave a really, really wild speech yesterday in Pennsylvania. Many of you probably have heard some of the excerpts from it. A couple of things really, really stood out to me, and I went to spirit on it when I was deciding what to cover today when we tape together. Ooh, there we go. Yeah, let's get that going. We need it, right? We need it. There's a couple of things that ain't enough sage in the world for this stuff, right? But yeah, let's keep the energy high, keep the vibration high as we can, keep ourselves together, because we're going to get through this. It is really, really interesting. I feel that there is karma that is coming back really like triple time on Trump at this time. He's in for a really rough October. And remember the email scandal with Hillary Clinton and how close that hit to the election in 2016. Now we have Jack Smith about to release, well, he's asked permission to file a longer than normal brief this Thursday, the 26th, in the election interference case in front of Tanya Chutkan. And so because he's gone over the limit, it's supposed to be 45 pages. He's coming in around 180 pages. This is in direct response to the Supreme Court's immunity ruling. We all know about that. But so that sent Jack Smith and company back to the drawing board, because now they had to go and reconfigure and parse out what was official acts, what were non-official acts. 180 pages sounds like, to me, Jack Smith found a whole lot. But before we get to that, you all, I just wanted to say, this man, Donald Trump, is truly, for entertainment purposes only, yeah, but like for real, descent into madness. This man said, point blank, and this is a quote, I've got it in front of me. He said last night and yesterday in Pennsylvania, "I don't like anybody that doesn't like me. I'll be honest. When they don't like me, I don't like them, okay?" He says, I know it sounds childish, but that's the way it is. Call it a personality defect. Call it a personality defect by a man who wants to be president, hold the highest office in the land, and be president of the United States of America with all people, right? I only like the people that like me. Call it a personality defect. That was the one thing. Number two, and this really sent so many people like, what? This is a longer quote I want to share with you all. It says, he's talking about women. And he says, "I want to make you safe at the border, on the sidewalks of your now violent cities, in the suburbs where you are under migrant criminal siege, and with our military protecting you from foreign enemies. You will no longer be abandoned, lonely, or scared. You will no longer be in danger. You're not going to be in danger any longer. You'll no longer have anxiety from all of your problems in our country that our country has today. You will be protected, and I will be your protector. Women will be happy, healthy, confident, and free. You'll no longer be thinking about abortion. It's all they talk about these days, abortion, because we will do something nobody else could have done. meaning turn it over to the states, I assume. Wow. The man who has been convicted of sexual crimes, right? All the nasty and horrible things that he has said and derogatory comments that he's made about women, and now he's going to be women's protector. I want to take a look at him. And also what struck me with the guides gave me, you all, is that men in particular, that turned off men. Remember, he's made a strong push to men, especially younger men, to get their vote. But this, I will be your protector. I will watch out for you. I've got you. I think that was a really, in a lot of men's faces. And we know that many of the people, the MAGA movement, they're all testosterone. They're all, say it with your chest, right? That was interesting. We have the Two of Pentacles and the Lovers, exactly, and the Empress, perfect, and the Emperor. Woo! Thank you, Spirit. I shuffled, and all of these four came out at the bottom of the deck. So here's the deal: the whole notion of the male and female power, and him positioning himself and saying, "I hold it all within me." Right? Men, you do as I tell you, because I'm the one in charge. I am the one who will protect your women. The Lovers, he's a Gemini, and Two of Pentacles. I see this two different ways. Spirit just gave it to me, you all. One is, I just heard split personality, right? This idea that he actually believes, and there have been studies done on him and research done about him in his personality disorder, that one of the reasons he's so convincing is because he believes his lies. When he gets in when he gets in his mode, he believes what he's saying at the time. He probably could pass a lie detector test, right? But this Lovers decisions, how you thinking of things in two ways, this sort of Gemini energy, and the Two of Pentacles is that in between space. It's not making sense. It feels like is it this or is it that? It feels two-faced. It feels talking out of both sides of his mouth. This is also a card. Two of Pentacles is a card of juggling. On the one hand, you're saying to your male MAGA folks, this is all about, this is the time of the divine man. This is the time when men are going to rule, and women need to get back in their homes and just, cook and clean and have babies. And on the other hand, he's appealing to those very same women and saying, this is not to diminish you. This is to protect you. This is to be good for you. Just deal with me and know that I've got your back. That's not flying, you all. And it really turned off a lot of people who have been in his corner. That's what I'm getting from the guides. He is going to lose people. Now, thank you. I just went to the, you all like to ask. This is you like that deck, that Kipperish deck. All right, by Intuitive Kev. Look what I just pulled. Awakening. Awakening. Now, whether that translates to votes for Kamala Harris, big question mark there. But certainly the numbers that he is counting on and that he will need to get all of the states that he would need is not happening. And he's trying to do the sweet talk. He's trying to, women like me, women love me, even at the same time that he has talked about grabbing women by their privates, I'll use that word, etc., right? Even though he's been so derogatory towards women, not to going back to the days with Hillary Clinton, and now in respect to Kamala Harris, who terrifies him. She terrifies him. Spirit, what else would you like to show me on that? Concern. You see how thick this deck is? And Spirit is speaking so loudly. Concern. But this concern is not, this concern is not him, because he's in his own reality. He's in an alternate reality. And October, this next, we got 40 something days, over 40 days, it's going to be more and more, his speech, his mannerisms, his thought process, or lack thereof, is going to be cause for concern among those who have typically really idolized him. That's been part of his appeal to especially men, is that he's idolized them, or they have idolized him, excuse me. But now this whole I got the women. I am the one that the women can depend on. I am the one who can be the protector, and I've got you covered. That's not going to go well, and did not go over well with men at all. At all. So that's going to cost him big time. Now, the other thing is, talking about men, Jack Smith. Jack Smith has come out and said, I've got this 180-page filing that I want to do in reference to the immunity ruling. He's got evidence out, 180 pages, you all. This man has got evidence out the wazoo. What is interesting is they're saying that if Tanya Chutkan allows it, because he is exceeding what was supposed to be a 45-page limit. Of course, Trump's attorneys have gone into overdrive trying to stop it. I don't think Tanya Chutkan has said the election does not play into a factor in this case. This case will proceed once the Supreme Court turned it back over to her. She said this is going to proceed. I want to see if I'm asking Spirit, you all, what is the impact of this filing from Jack Smith? Unfortunately, from what I'm gathering is this filing is not going to be made public in total, that there will, because there was going to be evidence included in it. So therefore there will have to be redactions made, but there will be portions of it that will be released to the public if she allows the filing. So first, let's do that. Spirit, will Tanya Chutkan allow this filing from Jack Smith at the longer format, the 180 pages? Will Tanya Chutkan allow Jack Smith to make this filing? Will she accept it? She will. Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands. Not only will she, but she is anticipating it. She's anticipating it. Not in terms of any sort of bias, but in terms of understanding that this is the job as a prosecutor. This is the job that Jack Smith had to do. When the Supreme Court made that immunity ruling, and turned it back over to her court, and then Jack Smith, as the prosecutor of the case, this is logical what he's done. Yes, is it long? Sure, but she sees it as logical. She sees it as thorough. She will receive, and 10 of Cups. Yes, a card of satisfaction, a card of fulfillment, a card of understanding that what he has done it with dedication. He has done it with obeying the letter of the law, and he is going to present a lot of evidence in this motion. Ultimately, the public is going to see it, I'm hearing. That's what the guides are telling me. Ultimately, the public will see it, but not right away. I've got the King of Cups here. I don't typically see him. I don't know what Jack Smith's astrological sign is. I don't typically see Jack Smith as a king of cups. I usually get that around Biden, but there's justice. All right. So I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say in this case, what Jack Smith did was with cups, this is managing the flow of the information, managing the case law. Can you imagine 180 pages to have to go through the detail of parsing out everything in the election interference case to the extent that it was or was not within Trump's capacity or function as president, right? The level of expertise and detail that Jack Smith has had to do and go through to prepare this filing is enormous. But Chutkan is going to allow it, you all. Chutkan is going to allow it. Now, will it be a game changer in October for the election? Is there going to be new revelations from this filing from Jack Smith that is so overwhelming? 3 of Cups. People are going to be celebrating it and talking about it to the hilt. That's a card of social. It indicates social issues and social discussion and discourse and celebration. There's something here where it almost feels like the Empire Strikes Back sort of thing. That for everything that's been done to delay all of the cases against Donald Trump, Jack Smith is that guy. He is that dude. And there are people who are going to be enormously grateful to his persistence and dedication in the face of tremendous, tremendous odds. Like everything's been done to stop him. And we have the Hermit, but he won't be stopped. The Hermit is ruled by Virgo. The Hermit gets the job done. The Hermit is, even on my own, I will proceed. I will continue on the quest. And in this case, it is the quest for justice. It is the quest to bring what needs to be brought to light, to get this case to go forward, to get it finally to go to trial. So yes, he's about to get it, you all. Donald Trump is going to have a very, very bad October on several levels. I think also because, and I'm going to read on this later in the week as we approach the debate between Vance and Walz, when that hits, and then once again, because Vance, as we know, J.D. Vance has not been a good candidate. He has been one of the lowest ranked vice presidential candidates in the history of elections, right? And deservedly so. So once that happens, that is going to tank him. Vance is one of those, going back to males, I just heard, going back to the male vote and appealing to males and appealing to younger males. That was one of the primary reasons that J.D. Vance was brought on board. That's not, it's going to tank so badly. It already is. Vance's refusal to make a comment about Mark Robinson in North Carolina, you heard that. He basically fluffed it off and just said, oh, well, it'll be borne out. We'll just have to play it out, let things play out and see what happens. People said he did it. He says he didn't. Who am I to say one way or another, right? It was so unprofessional. At the end of the day, it was unprofessional. But yes, Jack Smith's filing is going to be accepted. The filing, to the extent that portions are made public, because I definitely saw things about redactions, because it does, this thing is going to be so hefty and so chock full of evidence that there will be parts that cannot be released prior to a trial. So we get that, but we're going to learn enough during the month of October that is really, really going to rattle Donald Trump. All right. And finally, let's wrap up today with Kamala Harris. So I said we're going to go to the light. So let me go ahead and instead of sage, now I'll do some sweet rose spray, right? And let me cleanse my deck from that as well. All right. And cleanse myself. All right, you all. So Kamala Harris is going to Arizona later this week. And while she is there, now we're hearing that she will, in fact, make a trip to the U.S.-Mexico border. She basically has to, right? It's at that point of the election process, of the campaign. The two areas that we hear repeatedly that she's having, there's a contest for whatever reason between she and Donald Trump, are on the areas of the economy and immigration. The economy, she's coming on strong, and she is separating herself from, not separating herself, but distinguishing herself from Joe Biden. She's yes, it's Biden Harris all the way, but also a Harris presidency will bring this. So she's been articulating some of her plans with the economy, right? Small business owners, middle class tax breaks, child care tax breaks, etc. You all have heard that. I am interested. I'm asking, is she going to, what we can expect from this visit to the U.S.-Mexico border, and is Kamala Harris going to articulate policies that are her own in relation to the border? She's been mischaracterized as the border czar. We've heard that. That was never her appointment. That was never what Joe Biden expected her to do. She did go to Central America in reference to, easing relations and dealing with migrants. But she was never in charge of it. We know that was a lie. I want to see, Spirit, is she Kamala Harris at the U.S.-Mexico border? How will that go for her? 9 of Wands. It's a tough pull. This area on immigration, because of how volatile it is and the lies that are continually being fed and now ratcheted up, the Haitians in Springfield, Ohio, and other areas of Ohio. We know about that. Now I understand that Trump last night in Pennsylvania, there's some area, I can't remember the city, but there have been growing population, Haitian population in areas of Pennsylvania as well. That was brought up, so this whole migrant criminal thing. Spirit. Kamala Harris at the border. The Empress. I always pull the Empress for her. She grows. Whatever she touches grows. She has, and she's, the Empress is got a lot of Venus-like energy in it. She's a Libra, which is ruled by Venus. I always pull that for her. Growth, supporting, nurturing people, having a very mamala, kind of energy about her. When she goes to the border this week. 4 of Swords. She wants to collect herself. The 9 of Swords. She's worried about it. She understands the pressures that she's under. And the Hangman. All right. I got to call it like I see it, you all. I don't know that we can expect any sort of profound pronouncements and policy announcements from Kamala Harris at the border. I do believe she's going to try and clarify her position on making sure that the border is protected, that there isn't this criminal element, that there, drugs, etc., coming into the country. She's going to call again. We've heard her talk about her past as a prosecutor, that she has prosecuted, criminals on an international scale when it comes to that. The Hangman also makes me feel like there's Spirit is saying there's a wait and see approach, almost like she's got to address it, but she also wants to be careful in saying at the end of the day, we're not going to change who and what America is. America is a land. America was built, on people coming from all parts of the world here. So she's going to stand firm on that. She's 10 toes down on supporting immigration to the country, but in ways that allow people to have a pathway to citizenship. I think that's what we're going to hear a lot from her. The 10 of Cups, families. She's going to highlight the way that we saw during the Trump administration, families being torn apart, babies being torn from their mothers, being shipped and flown all over the country, and then, not knowing, being able to trace where they were or how to reunite them with their families. She's going to definitely appeal to that. The Knight of Cups. There's movement on the front of, and the Chariot, the family structure. That's what I see her doing. Okay. I don't know that we're going to see strong pronouncements of this is exactly new policies that we're going to implement in a Harris-Walz administration. But with the Chariot and that Knight of Cups, Knights are movement. Knights say that we need to have compassion for those who come and are trying to come legitimately, that who want to work, who want to be a part of the American fabric, who pay taxes, who deserve a better shot than what they are experiencing in their homelands, right? So she's going to definitely appeal to the feeling of that, the emotional component of America being, Statue of Liberty, being a safe haven for people who are whose civil rights are in jeopardy. But she's also, I've got the 2 of Pentacles for her here, and the High Priestess. Yeah, she's going to be very, very careful, and if that means saying a lot without saying too much, especially this late in, this close to the election, I think that's what we're going to see from her. She is very concerned, you all. Again, going back to, I always see her as the Empress. Kamala Harris is extremely compassionate, especially when it comes to families, when it comes to children and children being protected by their parents, those who come, and the idea that they should not be separated. I think that's the tack that she's going to take, is more along those lines versus harsh, build the wall, more, a more military presence. Securing the borders, yes, but not to the extent of shooting. We've heard shooting people trying to cross, shooting them on sight, sort of thing. She's absolutely not. She's going to. I think we will hear her articulate that her idea is the antithesis of that. And I've gotten the ancestors from the Kipper deck for her. And notice the different races even that are depicted on this deck. She is acutely aware of people's fundamental rights and her own ancestry as a daughter of immigrants. That's going to come out. And that's going back to what I think Spirit is showing us with this sort of humanitarian approach to the issue versus, a more militaristic approach. That we will not see from her. And she is still got third parties involved. She is still, and then we have divinity. Wow. She is so covered, you all. And it's not just her. It's the idea. It's the movement in America from a spiritual perspective overall. We have divinity that shows up, that comes with the ancestors. There is a desire from so many people in so many different parts of the United States and elsewhere right now, even globally, who are just tired of the division and want to see a higher, the whole joy thing that's been, that we talked about, right? Raising our vibration and being more joyful and holding on to that joy. That's what's really sticking with her. This third party is going to be the backlash from that. The people are going to try to pick apart and have something to say no matter what she does at the border. But her overarching message, according to what I'm getting today from Spirit, you all, is going to be unification of families, providing opportunities for people who come here for very good reasons, the same as people have for generations and generations in the past, who have come to the United States for better economic opportunities, better quality of life, better education, etc. And the starseed, her focus will be on bringing, allowing America to still be seen as a safe haven and a place of opportunity, and a place where, even as we're hearing in places like Springfield, Ohio, and elsewhere, where they're going through hell, but they have said, listen, Haitians have come here and really provided a service. They filled jobs. They're church going. They're trying to integrate into the fabric of our communities and shouldn't be treated that way. We're going to see more of the human element or the humane element of that from Kamala Harris versus, as I said, anything militaristic. So in that regard, I do see that. What I heard going into the reading and why I chose that topic is, was she going to depart from Joe Biden? I think she will take what Joe Biden always wanted in terms of being welcoming and welcoming immigrants to this nation. She will take what he's done, but she's going to, with that Empress we saw, she's going to put it in a different form, in a different format. She's going to make it more relatable and approach it from a space of compassion. The prosecutor side of her about securing the border will also come out. That's why we saw that Two of Pentacles. It will also come out, but it will not be, she's not going to approach it like, let's just get the military out here armed and ready to fire on anybody. No way, no how. That will not happen with her. All right, you all? Okay, so that's it for today. I really appreciate your time and attention. I am doing a tarot workshop this Saturday, the 28th at 2 p.m. Eastern. I sold out right away. Thank you all so much. And I sold out so quickly that I decided to add a few more slots. And most of those have sold. I think I may have about 6 or 7 slots still open. So I will put a link to that below. You can go to my booking page, my website, under services, booking, and you will see the tarot class there. That's the easiest way for you to do it. $33. It's going to be by Zoom. I'll give you, I'm going to give you my tips on how to better read tarot, and then you can ask questions. I'm going to make sure that leave a little time for that. So I'm looking forward to that. I hope to see you there. All right. Take good care of yourself. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.